everyone, and welcome to Hooray, It's Thursday. Yes, I've pre-recorded this one because I am working at the medical centre today, and so the light would be gone by the time I get home, and there is no way that you would actually be able to see my project, let alone craft along with me. So what I've done today is we're coming to the end of our current annual catalogue. And I'll be so sad to see so many things go. And there's so many things still left in our last chance that you can still grab yourself a bargain. But this weekend at class, I'm playing with the sweet songbirds. That's these little guys here. Oh, I'm sorry, they're back to front. That's okay. I'm playing with the sweet songbirds. So I thought we could actually make a card with them. Okay. Mother's Day is coming, but this works for that, works for birthdays. It could actually work for quite a lot of things. There's some really cute little sentiments. So let's turn this camera over and get started before I lose the light. Okay. Alrighty. So sweet songbirds. It's a cute little card. There's a cute little birdie as a nest. And you'll notice I've got some of the designer series paper. This one's called looking Country Floral Lane. Okay, that's actually in our mini. It's a lovely little designer series paper. I've got two little pieces here. I've got this little piece here with some patterned flowers on the back, but it's got balmy blue in it, and that's the red side, but we don't need those hearts. So I've pulled out mint macaron, because there's mint macaron leaves there. I've just got a little piece of basic white, piece for the inside. My envelope I remembered today. Now I've got a piece of very vanilla because I'm going to do this. See this wooden sign, and then I'm going to put a little birdie told me on it. And then you've got something to celebrate on the inside. So this piece is for my little bits of bird, and this ink pads that I'm playing with today. I thought I'd make my birdie in Calypso Coral. We'll see how that goes. It's a photopolymer stamp set, so I do need a piercing mat. These are available in the online store. You won't find them in the catalogue. Okay, so just be aware of that. All right, and it's like a big thick foam mat. It's great if you want to poke holes in something, because then it doesn't poke holes in your table. All right, so let's get started. So what I've got, I'll just put this to the side. I've already stuck all my stamps on it. There is a matching punch. It is currently a bundle in this current catalogue, but it is moving into our new annual catalogue, but these two pieces will be separated, so you will actually have to buy them at the full price. Currently, they are 10% discount if you buy them as the bundle. Okay, I do like Stampin' Punch bundles. They are a good bargain as far as I'm concerned. Won't put that up there and provide a shadow. Okay, so just move my envelope to the side, my inside to the side. Let's get started. All right, I wonder how long it could get, how quickly I can do this, because I'm not having to watch any comments, because we're not live today because I'm hanging out at work. Hey, doing this way, I can be in two places at once. How cool is that? I haven't decided yet if I'm going to add some fibre or ribbon to it, so I won't automatically stick my piece of designer series paper down. I will wait. This beautiful ribbon, it's so fine and pretty, but it is a white and a balmy blue combination. See how it's got that little bit of balmy blue there on the bottom? That's actually moving into, that's from our current catalogue, but current little mini, but it's moving into our big catalogue as well. So how exciting. We are keeping some of my favorites. So what we'll do is we'll get started with things that we want to stamp. Okay, so let's start with this piece. Okay, and I'm going to put my mat under my piece of white paper, mainly because if you're using the mat, it's not porous. And because it's not porous, now I've got a lump in the page. Because it's not porous, if I get ink on it, which I will do, what would happen is that it would come off on my project or my hands and then end up on my project. Actually, we might do our birdie first so that I can work out my placement. This is Calypso Coral. Nice bright orange, and you can see there's a tiny little bit of Calypso Coral in here, so that's why I'm pulling in that color, okay, because I'm going to do my flowers in Balmy Blue. I do have a scrap of basic white, and I'm going to put my, I want to stamp it that way, so I need to make sure when I stamp I'm going to go that way with the stamp, just so I can make sure I get my block, my piece of cardstock into my punch correctly. So let's see how we go here. Hopefully my ink pad is wet enough, because it's been a while. Got to hold your tongue right in how it is. Not bad, if I do say so myself. I'll just put that one aside. Now I've got this piece for my extra bits. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I don't necessarily want it to have a white tummy, I've got to put that in that way, but I don't want it to have a tummy that's a solid color either, so I'm going to stamp off so it can have a lighter color. All right, so that's the tummy, and somewhere on one of these blocks that I've got here, there is a wing. Okay, just looking at how I'm aiming it all in there, and there's my wing. All right, so that's my birdie so far. Let's close that one up while I punch them all out. Got to hold your tongue in the right spot. Aim your punch. Squeeze it a little bit to check that you're in the right spot, and wiggle it as required. You want a fairly even white line all around the outside. You could fussy cut it, but you won't get it as good. And watch out for all those bits that go flying. All right, pop that to the side. And then what we're going to do, we're going to chop that one off. Yeah, we're going to chop that one off, because we don't need, actually, I'll punch it in case I want to use it for a different bird later, because it'd be too hard to stick in the punch otherwise. All right. I don't like to waste stuff. Punch that. Now chop it off. And we'll punch that again. So that's our birdie's tummy, if we decide to put the tummy on it. Okay, then we've got his little wing. Okay, there's his little wing. All right, we've still got some room here for, we need his little beak coming out of there as well. So I pulled in some pumpkin pie for his beak. I'm thinking I need a new pumpkin pie. It's seen better days, this poor stamp set. This poor stamp. And looking at the way that that's punched, looks like it needs to go that way. Okay. It's a teeny tiny little piece. Keep looking up at the screen thinking that I'm going to have to look at comments, but I don't. Feel free to put comments in the chat below. I will look at them later, and I will respond to them when I get home. Okay, I'm sorry I missed you all today. All right, so that's my birdie. Okay. So this piece is optional. All right. If you want to have his little white. If you want him to have a paler colored chest, you can. You can actually stamp it in there if you prefer. Where is it? So I could have come along and actually stamped in there. You can see through the photopolymer stamp set, so you do have that option. All right. But I'm actually thinking that I might leave him white, to tell you the honest truth. But what I will do is, while I'm here, I'm going to stick his beak on, and I'm going to put the tiniest little bit of glue, get a bit on the end, I squeezed it a bit and it went out and then went back in. I don't know if you can see it. See? It goes back in, and then I touch it on the edge, because you don't need a lot. And this is where you'll take your pick tool, is going to come in handy. All right, so that you can pop it on like so, because the bird is singing. Okay, and you essentially want to cover that white bit. You do get to manipulate it a little bit. All right, and the same with the wing, but I'm putting it on the wing this time. You don't need a big lot, just put a little bit on. Okay, gives you a little bit of room for squeezing it around. Now, he needs some eyes. There's 2 sets of eyes in the stamp set. There's an open set and there's a closed set. And I don't know, but when I'm going la 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 la, I have my eyes closed. So I'm going to give him closed eyes. Okay. Or should we call it a her? Gosh, I hope I get them in the right spot. They look pretty good, if I do say so myself. Okay, so that's our little birdie. I just used Memento on that one. So our little birdie is going to be standing about here, which means I need to come in with my tree branch. The beauty about this bit being flexible is I can work out where I want my tree branch to go, because I actually want it to go a little bit straight here. Don't necessarily want that curve so much. Okay, and I've got, let's see, crumb cake. Excuse the green color of my crumb cake on the outside. Oh, it's nice and wet. Let me just see. I've got a scrap over here. Okay, let me just see how we go. Oh boy, look at the mess. Oh, that way. I just don't want it. It looks so bubbly, so I'm just. That's better. Might only come in this far, but I also want to do one up the top. Now, the one up the top, I want the branch to be a bit straighter, because it's coming in from the other direction. So I'm actually just going to go, I'm going to force it into submission, because I actually want it to come the other way, because it's going to come and hang over my birdie. All right. Oops. It's bubbly again. Why is it being so bubbly? That's better. Needs to hang over quite a bit. Oh, it's still quite bubbly. That's okay, it'll dry a bit paler. All right. While I've got that out, I bought some Very Vanilla over. Totally doesn't go with my. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it on here, and I'm going to fussy cut that out. Before I fussy cut it out, my little sign, I'm going to write my words on it. Now, they're on the other side of this because I couldn't fit it. I didn't have enough blocks. No, those that know me will be so surprised. A little bird told me. Okay. So that needs our fussy cutting scissors. So I like to go from this side. There's a little kick in there. And in there. And then somewhere on my table, here it is. Now, see how this is actually quite brown? If I've used that with lots of different browns. I've got one for most colors. Looks like there's no ink on it, but if I go, oh yeah, there's a little bit there, and I huff on it, I'm going to get a bit more ink. And I'm just going to add a bit of color to that. So I haven't actually re-inked it. I've just used what was on it. Got a brown finger now. Okay, so that means, now, I don't know if you noticed that there's a tiny little line. Okay, so I need my crumb cake back out. Okay, and I'm just gonna, I need to work out where my sign's gonna hang. And I'm going, see how I'm doing it on the, I'm only stamping up half of it on the, actually about there, because I don't want it to come down too far. Okay, so my sign is going to be able to sit, and if I've done it right, it can sit over the edge of just a smidge, like so. Yep, and because my birdie is going to as well. Okay, now while that bird's sitting there, and before I do anything else, I'll get my pumpkin pie back out. Oh boy, it does look bad, because I need some bird legs, because it's got to stand on the branch. I'm all wobbly. Don't know why. Okay, so that now my birdie's got some legs. Okay, all right. So we need, it's a pretty boring looking plant at the minute. How about we get some mint macaron leaves. We'll put that to the side and my birdie to the side. This one here's the leaves. Okay, it needs a massage as well. This piece of paper's seen better days. How's that? Oh, I should just, what am I doing? I've got this piece of paper here. So what I'm finding is my mint macaron leaves are a bit, well, they're not too bad. Okay, so they sit quite perfectly over there. However, they're a bit blotchy. If you find that your ink pad is a bit blotchy, it's been really damp here, so I find they get like that when it's really damp. Maybe it's the way that the ink settles. What I'm also going to do, just see how these two are dodgy, three, I'm going to do this, and you're going to laugh at me, but I'm going to fussy cut them. Mainly because, yeah, then that way I can stick it over the top and it gives a bit of dimension to my tree. So I bought over Balmy Blue for, because I needed one for up there too, Balmy Blue for my flowers. Because there's got to be some flowers. Whoopsie. Hold your tongue right when you do that. Okay. So I'll just cut these out. Sorry, I'll do them really fast. Now the choice is, because the bird has the little white line around it, I am actually going to give these the little white line around it so it looks like they were punched as well. I'm moving my piece of paper rather than my scissors, which is particularly difficult on a small scale, but it works quite nicely. Okay. And we'll just go around like so. And because I've kept them as a threesome, it'll just make it easier to stick them on. See? And I'll do the same with that one up there. Okay? Just for it, I always find that adding a layer makes it look really cool. All right, this one will be a bit easier to work with because it's, oops, I went a bit close though. We'll see how it looks. I really need the middle one more than anything. Just looks like I punched it out badly. No. All right. If I'd done it right, I would have done this one earlier. But that's okay. All right, so that's that one. And I'm not, you could put them on with dimensionals. I'm not going to, because I really want my birdie on with dimensionals. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just putting a little bit of glue there and there though, because I actually want my leaves. Can't pick them up because I've got no fingernails. I want my leaves to stick up a bit. So I've just, my puppies are very busy this afternoon. Every noise. I'm just bending my leaves up a little bit. And then I'll just add that one up there. But see, so they stick up a little bit, but not a lot. Okay? All right. This piece is going to get added to this piece. Okay. Like so. Okay. And somewhere on my tables, probably right in front of me, is my dimensionals. Here they are. So I'm going to put some dimensionals behind my bird sign. My little birdie told me sign. And I'm going to put some dimensionals behind my bird. Now, because of where he's sitting, they're going to come more to the front, my dimensionals. And I'm not sticking one under his tail. Okay. So, oops. Although I should have stuck, if I want music notes on there, I have to stick them on first. One must not forget the music notes. So there's some little music notes. So the choice is yours what colour you stick them in. I was thinking of sticking them in Probably should stick them in the blue. What do you reckon? Yeah, let's do them in the balmy blue, because where's my birdie? He's going there. That one will be under the sign a bit. That's going to work. Yep. What do you reckon? Yeah, that's nice. What a cute little birdie. And we'll put the sign on. Make sure it goes off that little bit off that edge there. So essentially it's in line with my outer edge of my blue strip. Now I could still got to do the inside and the envelope, but that's okay. That's a really cute little card. But you guys know one thing I really like is I love to have fiber on things. And I think I just like the textural aspect of it. I did bring over some bling to put on, but I'm not going to use bling. I'll use the fiber instead. So let's pop this. Now you can, there's definitely a right and wrong way. See how it's quite dark on that side? And if I flip it over, you can barely see it. So you want to make sure you put your darker side out so you can see it. And for some reason, I always seem to stick it at the bottom, but don't know what the deal is there. I just seem to do that. And, oh boy, more fingers and thumbs. So based on where my little birdie's going to sit, which is about there, I want it here. Okay. How cute is that? Those red hearts, aren't they sweet? So I'm just pulling it around. Don't pull it too tight. Don't leave it too loose either, but don't pull it too tight. Okay. And my little birdie is going to sit on here like so. And I'm thinking I might just tie a knot or a bow over here. So if you want to tie bow, but I'm actually thinking that this one could probably get away with just a knot. Although let's see what a bow looks like. Again, why do you keep turning it around? Well, because I like to work from a particular angle and it wasn't playing nice. Just to make it sort of so my tails sit in a particular way. And I want it right over there on that edge. And see how it's curved a little bit? That's why you don't want to pull it too tight. We should be able to force it into submission a little bit. Let me just make sure it fits in the right spot. Yeah. I'm going to put that up on dimensionals. Okay. This ribbon is so soft and nice that you can sort of push it around a bit and get it to go really where you want it to go. So, and it will just sort of do it. Okay, so let's put this bit down. I always leave those bits still taped down. If you've watched any of my other videos, which you can see on my YouTube channel, please feel free to subscribe. You will see that I've left them all, the majority of them. Every now and then I throw a spanner in the works and I'll pull them up. But hit the subscribe button. Go and have a look and see what other projects I've done over time. The main reason with bows is, the main thing with this bow is we don't want it to come too far off the edge, because we don't want it to pull on that paper, but we also don't want it to not fit in our envelope. Okay. All right, so that's that glued down. This is this. I've got a stamp camp coming up, so thinking about what I'm doing now, and if you like my style and you live on the Central Coast, my suggestion would be that you might want to register for that. Okay. There has been so far one post about it, but there will be more. We've got until the I'm taking registrations now. There is limited seating available. Currently, I'm booking it for it's going to actually happen in my home. If I get over the number that I can fit here, I will be taking it to another venue, which again is still local to the Central Coast. So if you're local to the Central Coast, or you're happy to travel because you've got rallies up here or something like that, and you'd like to join us, sign up for my newsletter, because there'll be a newsletter going out about it soon. All right, it's using one of the new bundles in the catalogue that's coming next week. I'm a bit excited. Lots is happening. There's lots and lots happening at the moment. Okay. Make sure it's straight. I don't want that tail sticking off too far. So it's all like a little bit of a game of matching. How cute is he? Yep, he's straight. Okay, so let's do our inside and our I was going to say tree, but it's an envelope. Okay, so I've got to make sure that I do that in portrait. All right, so I've left this as is. I'll pull out my crumb cake again. Okay. And let's just go like so. For that. And this one here, I'll actually let it go where it wants to go, which is in the complete opposite direction. And I'll go like that. Need to massage this one because it's a bit bubbly, and like that. Okay, that's what I do when they get a bit bubbly. I just give them a bit of a rub together. That's the stamp, like with the back of a silver spoon or something, and they seem to settle down. Back up to my leaves. This is, oh, didn't get any ink on that one. My mint macaron leaves, such a nice colour. Okay. I closed it. I shouldn't have closed it. Okay. You should see some of the colours that are coming though. There's some really, really pretty ones. I'm getting a bit excited about them. I'll put some blue flowers on here too to match. The one with the flower on it. Pretty. Okay. And we'll just do half a flower. Love photopolymer stamps. I usually can aim them fairly correctly. Okay, so a little birdie told me. What did the little birdie tell me? Did the little birdie tell me that you've got something to celebrate, or it's your special day? Let's go, you've got something to celebrate. I didn't pull this out. So I love how they come now with these, with all the images on there, so that you can stick your images on and then you know if you've lost one, because it won't be there. I don't have a smaller stamp block free, so it's going to have to be this one. And you know what? I'm going to stamp it in Calypso Coral, just because I want to bring some of that nice colour from the front. Oh, there's some of last week's project. Let's put that here. That's the other thing that you'll know if cross everything. Yes, winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's the other thing you'll notice. I never ever put my sentiments smack bang in the middle. They're usually down the bottom, off to the side. The reason why I do that is so that they don't have to be, it's crooked. How annoying. Well, that's not fun. The other side's looking pretty good, isn't it? Okay. Back to the good old drawing board. Now, as I was saying, I don't usually put them down. I'm going to put this on first because if it doesn't work, I'm turning it back over again. I don't normally put them in the middle, and I don't normally put them, the sentiments, on the inside. I don't normally put them, that's wet, heaps better. I don't normally put them in the middle, and I don't normally put them at like smack bang in the middle. I normally put them at the bottom and at the side. And the reason I do that, I'm going to go in the opposite direction this time, is because that way I can, what's it called? I don't have to worry about going in the wrong spot. And I don't have to center it, and I don't have to make sure it's super duper straight or super duper right. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. So let's add some more leaves, just because we can. That looks better. See, there's a reason why we had to move to the other side, because we needed to make it look good. And we need one more. How does that look? Even though it's not. I'm not going to put any music boat notes on the inside just because I don't want to. Okay. So there we have. I'll just put a bit of glue in on here. Not much glue. Don't want too much glue. Open my card. And there you have it. How cute. Nope, it's a bit crooked. You only got a small window of opportunity. How cute is that? I do love that. And there's her envelope. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. Next 12 weeks, you'll be getting a video. I might do some lives at other times, but yeah, next 12 weeks, you'll be getting a video. So just to give you the heads up, and any lives that I do will be totally surprises. Looking forward to seeing you next week, though, with a new catalogue launch. I'm so happy about the new catalogue. I love everything in it. And I can only show you the front of it at the moment if I had one sitting on my desk, which I don't. But if you need a catalogue, let me know. All right. Thanks heaps for joining me. See ya.